Hello! Today we are doing a spoiler discussion video on the Victor Frankenstein film that came out recently. And if you clicked on this video by mistake, then go to my channel and watch the non-spoiler video. And then you won't get spoiled.
Also, if you found this video by accident, congratulations. You found a video that's deep into YouTube. Well done, you have good time and patience.
But yeah, let's go.
So, the plot. It's the usual Frankenstein plot. Man who is nutcase makes another man who is monster. And even though he's not in the book, Igor is present. Who's played by Daniel Radcliffe.
Yes.
And from only seeing him in Harry Potter and the awful Woman in Black remake, he does a really good job. Yeah,
I was actually surprised at how good... I don't really watch Daniel Radcliffe because I never really watched the Harry Potter films, and I only saw Woman in Black.
Which is an awful film.
And yeah, he was really, really good. He had like loads of different emotions and stuff. He was making me feel emotions. Hopefully he was making you feel emotions.
He made me feel emotions.
He made him feel emotions. He did a really, really good job at it. And he was introduced as like a hunchback in a circus. Yeah. So it was really interesting seeing him from those beginnings to then what he was at the end. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
and
like
how he grew as a person.
Yeah, completely different person in a good way.
Yeah. By
the end. And then you've got Frankenstein, who was a different person, who's played by James McAvoy's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who you see change, not for the better.
No. But I think at the end he, in a way, he has redemption, but not really. It's not really explained. He's kind of just let off the hook. And that's a little bit annoying.
Would you say that's redemption? It's just like, fuck it, I'm going to build another one. Fuck
well, like when he sees the monster, he's like, oh, this is not my brother, like, this is not life. Like, he understands that, even though he does go and say, oh, I might have some ideas in the future.
On how to fix it. It's like, oh, that good old Frankenstein.
It was really cool how seeing Igor and Frankenstein's relationship, how Igor didn't want to leave him. Even when he was in like the darkest place, he wanted to try and help him, even though he realised what he was doing was then wrong.
But you can tell it's because Frankenstein helped Igor out.
Yeah, he did so much for him, he just couldn't sever that relationship, could he?
Yeah.
What about Laura Lyer? I actually liked her in it. She was a little bit of a love interest, obviously, for Igor. And I think it helped to show that side of him, because where we were so used to seeing him as the circus guy, and then kind of still pitying him, even though he was growing as a person into his own kind of personality. It was nice to have that little side relationship going on there.
Yeah. There is, now that I'm thinking about it, there's one thing that bugged me. It's just like, no, Igor, you can't go. No, Igor, you can't go. And as soon as Igor was like, I'm going, she's like, fuck it, I'm going.
Yeah! She kind of just hypocrited herself and completely went against it.
It's like, he's a nutcase. No, I'm going.
What do you think about the religion aspect? Because I liked that the police investigating the case with like the missing animal limbs and all that sort of stuff. He was religious.
Are we just saying about his story or his acting?
His story.
Okay, good.
His acting though. He sounded like he really didn't want to be there.
It was just like
I do not like this case. I don't care if I have a warrant. I'm going.
There's not a murder case here. This is the work of the devil.
Yeah, it was
Mr. Frankenstein.
It was pretty poor in acting department. But what did you think about that influence in the film?
That influence I actually quite like, because especially when you think about the era that the book came out in, which at the time, very heavy Catholic country at the time. So the fact that they delved into that in the sense that it was a character, just as a single character, but you sort of see how people at that time probably read the book if they were religious.
It gave it a little bit more of like that humanity side to it, because all this time you're following this crazy scientist doing all these crazy things, and I guess to an extent you kind of think, oh, this is the main character, I'll continue thinking how he thinks. So I think it's good that they have the religion side to kind of think, wait, this is wrong, you're going to be damned for all eternity.
Yeah.
Even though it's a bit extreme, it kind of brings you back down to earth and it makes you think, oh shit, Frankenstein's really evil, and what he's creating is like an abomination. Yeah.
There is also one other part that bugged me. In the narration in the beginning, in the beginning and more towards the end. Like, this is the story that we all know.
Oh, yeah.
And they're saying it's like a different story, but it was the same fucking story. We just saw it from Igor's perspective.
Yeah.
I understand where he's getting at in the sense that people don't think of Frankenstein the Doctor.
They think of the monster.
They think the monster is Frankenstein, but it's not. He's just the monster. Or in this one, it's his brother Henry Frankenstein.
Yeah, which was interesting. It didn't follow the story exactly as Mary. No,
it did have its own
Shelley
interpretation.
Wrote. But yeah, it was interesting that the monster that Frankenstein was creating was his brother, or so he thought. He wanted
to be his brother's replacement.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to put like maybe his soul into it, but the monster was just so like dead.
When all he did was put electricity into him. That's not Henry Frankenstein. Last time I checked, should have got the snow.
So that was interesting because as he kept mentioning Henry, and when we found out how Henry died, that was completely different to the novel.
Yeah, very, very different.
I think it was cool because it kind of gave it a little bit of character to why he really was, like some more motivation behind why he wanted to create the monster. Yeah. And I thought that was cool. I don't know about you.
No, I did as well.
Okay.
But aesthetically, it's one of the best looking films of the year.
Definitely.
I'd say.
It did, the darkness of the story itself really reflected well on the big screen.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It wasn't dark in terms of, I can't see what the hell's going on. It was dark as in the tones and the colours and the contrast that they used.
It's very, very close to being on par with Crimson Peak. Crimson Peak just has that special Del Toro touch on it that makes it that little bit more beautiful, but this film is very close to being. Which
I have a review on as well, link down below. But just quickly, did you know... Yeah, I'm shameless. Shameless advertisement.
Shameless ad whore.
Did you know not many people like that?
Well, Crimson Peak?
Yeah, they all...
That's
I
interesting.
looked into some reviews and I was like talking to some people on YouTube, and a lot of them think it's a story that's done before. I can kind of understand it to an extent, but Del Toro took it to a whole new level. Just wanted to put that input.
In a sense, a lot of the films that he's done are is stuff that has been done before. Yeah.
But I love
like, don't forget, he's a horror author. When you go into the sense of horror, there's not a lot of stories. You've got your Ghost House story, which is Crimson Peak. You have your
monster creation.
You have your zombie/vampire. Yeah. They come into one.
They all just stem off from the baseline. And I guess you can say the same with everything, but when it's horror, it feels very limited.
They do say overall there's probably, I think, 6 or 7 original stories. Yeah. So I can't remember which number it is exactly, but it's either 6 or 7 original stories.
But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, seeing as we was on that line.
Yeah.
Music, very atmospheric.
Yeah, music was pretty good. Because it's Fox, you sort of imagine it's going to be like stupid, over the top, dramatic stuff that doesn't fit in, like they're doing with American Horror Story at the moment. No, they actually had sort of very gothic music.
Yeah,
could you
really
describe it as?
Fit the theme, because I think Frankenstein's supposed to be a romantic gothic tale.
Gothic romance.
And that's what it was. The music was really helping to add to that.
Yeah.
As well as like the imagery and everything.
Yeah. I know we've always mentioned comedy in all our reviews. You sort of got to talk about it in this one, because there wasn't a lot, thankfully.
Yeah.
There was one notable scene where Frankenstein and Igor went to a ball, and Frankenstein's just saying to Igor, "Don't embarrass me." 2 seconds later, you see him pissed out of his head explaining his creation to 2 random girls.
Yeah, and talking about sperm and everything, and why we don't need females to make babies. Oh,
and
it's
then
funny.
He just shoved oysters in their faces, saying, "This is the colour of a brain," and as soon as they didn't agree with it, just "Fuck it, I'm done." Pretty much he said exactly those words as well.
And I think it worked with him because he had that crazy scientist feel, so that just it helped.
Yeah.
It showed how unstable he was, which he was very unstable. He could go angry to funny like really quickly, and
very
it's quite
you saw how it impacted Igor as well. That sudden change.
Frightened and sorry for him when he was lashing out at him.
Yeah. What about who's that posh twat? Finnegan. Finnegan. Who's
played by a actor called Freddie Fox.
Yeah, that guy.
I liked him in it.
I thought his character was a bit bland. He's just that guy who helps Frankenstein and creates that monster. That's
true, but I think that's he needed it because they needed some sort of income. Like in the book, I think he was getting money from like his parents and tuition for school, which he wasn't attending and stuff. But he kind of that role was necessary, so I think it was alright that he wasn't as developed as much as everyone else because he didn't really need to. And again, he died in a couple of scenes later. So
yeah, he was there for first showing of a creation. Shall we talk about that? Yeah.
So we're going to talk about creation now.
Yeah. So the first thing that they do is not create a monster. It's like an ape thing.
Yeah, some sort of chimpanzee.
Yeah, called Gordon. And it does the whole thing of it almost goes wrong. It almost doesn't work, and then out of nowhere it comes to life. That's very cliche, yes. But it did show why Finnegan was interested in the fact that you do create life.
Yeah.
That he can do it, and then but obviously Finnegan being rich, it must be bigger. Man.
We must own it all.
Yeah. Gordon's scene, it sort of went out of nowhere from like gothic romance to then just flat out monster film / horror.
Yeah.
Like slasher film.
Because it was much more gory than I was expecting. Especially when they was like beating the ape to death. That was I wasn't really.
Did you tell me that film was a 12?
Yeah.
There's a lot of gore in that film for a 12.
Again, that was the same for like Woman in Black. That was creepier for a 12 because it was rated 12.
That was creepy for a 12.
It should have been a 15.
Yeah, this was very, very gory. This is 12A as well.
Yeah, and obviously the theme about it is very disturbing. Anyway,
I wouldn't. The thought of creating a man.
wouldn't let a 12-year-old go and see that. Like, that can mess you up if you're not in the right mentality.
But yeah, back to Gordon. Yeah. It's sort of at first when Igor saw it, he was scared of it, and you can understand why. But then again, because I think it's because of how Frankenstein helped. The way that Igor kept wording it was that Frankenstein created him.
Yeah.
Because he went from being the hunchback in the circus to now.
Well, Frankenstein was saying he created him, wasn't
but
he?
Igor started saying it as well. But I think it's because of that, saying that over and over and over and over and over again, Igor just accepted the fact that fuck it, he's making a monkey. He's making a monkey out of me.
We're running out of time now, so yeah, we're going to end that here. Kind of random talking about monkeys, and now it's goodbye.
It's just unfortunate time restraints. Yeah. So we're going to end in the most random point ever. Monkeys.
No. Goodbye.
Monkeys.